YouTube. Okay, this is my Exceed RC Hyperspeed. It was a nitro car. I converted it to electric. Okay, it started out with two of these 2321A, I'm pretty sure that's the number anyways. They're Phantom motors, they're out of a DJI Phantom. And I mounted them opposingly so that one would spin this way and the other would spin this way. And with the pinion gear in the center, turning the spur gear. And here's the center differential. So they were mounted like this, spinning the spur gear. And it looked like it was gonna work. I really thought it was gonna work, but I don't think they had enough power to turn four wheels. And my motors, I couldn't ever get them to spin up. I think there's a problem with them. They're just leftovers out of a crashed Phantom. So iteration number 2 is I took a Sport Tune 380 motor, peak performance, on a leftover pink motor I got from somebody, and I mounted it like this, with the pink motor spinning the spur gear, turning four wheels. That also looked like it was gonna work, but this motor didn't have enough power to really turn everything. It got really, really hot, even the first time I tested it. So that didn't work out. So the next iteration number 3, was go big or go home. I took a 7.7. Oh wait, you know what? No, iteration number 3 was actually my. Yeah, I'm trying to keep all these in order because this car has gone through quite a few different builds. My iteration number 3 was actually a 3900 kV brushless motor, direct drive with a. I had a little gear on it. It's basically a pinion gear, but I had a pinion gear mounted on here on the 390 motor, or the 3900 kV motor, and then direct to the drive shaft on the rear end with a bracket. That video will be the first video in this series, I think. Anyway, so it worked out good. It was quick, but it stripped the gear. There was a little bit of play, and 3900 kV is rotations per RPM, and I was running 3S, so that's like 39,000 RPM, so it was way too much, so it stripped the gear. So next, I did the same thing here. I put the drive shaft mount on the 3900 kV motor, mounted it in here, direct drive to the rear end, and I got maybe 65 miles an hour. That's that pass, the intro video. That worked out great. It hauled ass, except I ran into a rock and I broke my front suspension arm. So then the 4th iteration of this car, I ended up using that brushless motor in another car because it was, I couldn't get this one to work and the other one was just sitting there, so I just swapped the motors out. So in this car, I installed the 775 out of a Ryobi drill. Same setup with direct drive with the gear, straight to the back. That's what's in here now, actually. And I test drove that in the yard with this drill motor, or with this drill battery powering it. All mounted up like that. This in the center, drive shaft. It all worked out good. It was quick, it ran good, but I burnt out my ESC. My ESC was only rated for 3S, and I ran it originally on 4S. That didn't work out, it burned it up. So I have this all set up. The next, I'm gonna try to get this done today. I need a new ESC, but I hope you guys enjoy the build and everything. I'm including as much as I can about how I did this car and what I did to this car. All 3 iterations. I didn't get the first one on camera, the 2 little drone motors. But here's the video. Exceed RC Hyperspeed Buggy. Okay, so this is day 4. I have 10 days off. I've been working on cars every day. Day 1 was this car, but I had a dual motor set up here, dual brushless motors, but they were this setup, opposing brushless motors off of a Phantom. I think my motors are bad. I couldn't get it to work. So day 2 was my 3-wheel car. Day 4 was my drill-powered car. Or day 3 was my drill-powered car, and this is day 4. So on day 4, I've stripped this guy. I put my brushed motor in. I've made this awesome drive shaft. And there's actually 3 pinion gears in there. Let's see. So there's 3 gears in there. They're not perfectly aligned, but they're pretty damn close. So instead of having the spur gear on the top, I have 3 pinion gears working together. It should be about a 1 to 1.7 ratio. Oh man, the most time I've spent was making this bracket. Let's see, it goes down, twists, and then is mounted to the bottom plate here. I threw this little spacer on there. I just wanted to make sure it was nice and tight. This was a nitro buggy. Now it's going to be probably a really, really fast drift car, maybe. I need to put smaller tires on the back. But that's the progress so far. So brushless nitro conversion. This started out as a nitro car. Now it is a rear-wheel drive with no spur gear, straight pinion gear to drive shaft. I got a little brace there to make sure everything doesn't get all tweaked. Brushless 80 amp ESC, got my 2S battery over there, tracks in the center. Very custom steering. I had to make that bracket and that one to make it work. Look at this guy though, I'm really happy about this. Everything looks good. Nice and balanced and centered and light. I'm gonna try the speed run with the 2S, and then if it goes good, I'm gonna switch it out for the 3S. Or no, 4S. This is a 2S. So I'm gonna try the 2S first, then I'm gonna switch it out for the 4S. We'll see what happens. Speed test, take 1. So I remade the drive with shaft drive instead of gears. I think it's gonna work a lot better. Let's go for test drive, speed test number 2. like I need glued tires on the front because they keep blowing them out. Alright, so update on the drill car, or the four-wheel drive car. It is now this crazy beast. It's got a 775 motor. A little warm. My Nova 2, or my Novak ESC. 20-volt lithium drill power battery. And unplugs easy enough. Steering taken care of. And look at this guy. That's not even a quarter throttle. I can't do it on my desk, it's gonna run off. But that is the update so far. I've got everything pretty balanced. You know, the heavy ass motor is sort of up front on the right. The heavy ass battery is sort of at the back on the left. Got some cool new tires on it.
The sun is blazing once again. It's about 40 degrees Celsius outside. Thank goodness I'm at the ranch where I've got the prairie heat to deal with. Because it makes it easier. We do have a slight breeze here today. But you can see when the bottleneck happened in the course, everybody's kind of bunched up together and then they have to get things rolling again. But these little trucks being on the side of the
So motor is direct drive to the rear through this drive shaft. Everything's back in there. Battery's mounted nice and solid. It ain't going nowhere. It got a little hot, but the front tires, they don't spin at all. They're really tight. I need to work on them. That one's all right. Yeah, and this ESC is only rated for, what does it say? 4 to 10 cells, but that's nickel cadmium, not lipo. So I need a different brushless or different brushed ESC, but we are making progress.